to support the platform just in case anything like this happens again, you can do it by way of PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and also by the Anchor. And you can also further support the platform by way of going to the Teespring store or the shoe store that is located in the comment section below.
Ô, Marcelo, sai daqui. Come
More than likely, all of these young black women are below the age of 25. More than likely. And this is the normalcy that I see consistently on social media, right? They'll give you two different sides, right? They'll show you the side where it's like, hey, black women, we're together, we love each other, we care about each other, whoop de whoop, yada yada, all that good stuff, right? And then on the whole other side, you'll start to basically see this. The same thing when you started looking at reality television shows. What was one of the main things that you saw? You saw black people fighting. More specifically, more than anything else, you saw black women fighting. And these were black women, college educated, entrepreneurs, got businesses, built wealth for themselves, amassed money, all this other type of stuff, right? They have all of these titles and they still do this. So now when little girls grow up and they sit up there and look at all of that stuff, what do you think that they're going to emulate? They're going to emulate the black doctors, the black female doctors out here, the black female astronauts, the lawyers, any business owners, entrepreneurs, models. You think that they're going to actually copy those characteristics, the way that they monitor and value, respect, the way that they carry themselves? You think that they're going to tote that line? Nah, they're going to sit up there and tote the negative stereotype. And this is, and the most interesting thing about this is in a sense within the same vein of what black women complained about when it came to black men, right? For some time you had black women basically saying like, yo, why is it that you have black men or young black men, what have you, wanting to look at the negative? Why is it that they want to emulate this instead of the good black positive male role models that are actually out there, right? And you've had black men roll up to the scene and be like, you know what, we see what it is that you're talking about. Let me try my hand at actually trying to fix this situation. I'm a black man, I'm doing something positive. Let me try to, alleviate some of that, right? Some of that negativity. Let me put a better influence on that. And over time, you have seen black men do this, right? You had one instance where you had, black men with their sons. They were all in suits, right? It was just a positive look. And you had black men doing that. But at the end of the day, you had black women out there being vocal, basically saying, like, what was this for? right? You had other people in the black community be like, oh, this is a waste of time. All of y'all together, but y'all still ain't doing nothing. All of y'all together, but look at still what's happening in the community. All of y'all together, but look what the police is doing to us, right? No matter what a black man tried to sit up there and do, or how it is that they tried to sit up there and do it, you would still have black women and you would still have people in general in the black community talking down on those men trying to do good their own way. So the main thing that I've set up there and been seeing, and the main thing that I've told people before, even before I had a platform, I had conversations with people and I told them like, yo, if a lot of the stuff that these young girls are doing, if it does not get fixed, it's going to get worse and they're going to pass it on to their daughters. So then once I got a platform, I started basically trying to send this same message directly out there to the black women that are willing to sit up there and listen. And the main things that I've gotten is that, hey, it's not our responsibility. You know, we try to sit up there and talk to these girls. They want to fight us. They want to argue this, that, and the third, and all this other type of stuff. Right. But I'm like, what do you think that black men have to deal with when they go out here and try to talk to these young guys? You think that they're not potentially now, even more so, they're actually risking their lives because you can mean very well. You can come cordially, you can come respectfully, you can come tactfully to that conversation, and that conversation can still end up with somebody losing their life. That's how dangerous it is, in a sense, for normal black men to try to want to have conversations with these young dudes. Black women ain't dealing with that. Black women ain't dealing with that. It's not a 9 times out of 10 thing that you want to have this conversation and you just dropping. That's not what it is. That's not what it is. Statistically, that's not even what it is. It can get there though. If black women as a whole decide that this is not something that is important enough for them to want to spend time and want to, highlight and talk about. Like I said before, there's a lot of black female platforms out here. But how many platforms can you literally count that are actively talking about dismantling this stereotype, stopping this stereotype, making sure that it's not going to be persistent, trying to instill knowledge and wealth and integrity, right? Trying to instill that value and that respect into these young girls so that they don't have to act like this in order to try to quote unquote get the attention from the types of guys that they like, aka the wrong types of guys that they like. Because no guy worth his salt, no guy of a logically sound mind, no guy that values and respects himself is going to automatically stoop down to seek a woman of this caliber. It's just not happening. Stand up dudes ain't seeking out women like this. Chaos will seek out chaos, though. So there's a lot of chaotic men that will more than likely happily be, impregnating these women. I'm not even going to say married because that's the marriage right there. When chaos and chaos come together, they don't really formulate any type of a real bond. The only bond that they, in a sense, share is that child. That's their marriage. That's their lineage, right? That's what they're passing down and giving to the world. That's what they're producing. Chaos and chaos produces chaos. Broken and broken create broken, right? So we have a lot of broken manufacturers. We have a lot of fractured manufacturers. We have a lot of manufacturers out here that have not been certified and checked to make sure that they should even be able to produce the things that they are necessarily producing and giving out to the public, which is actually detrimental. Because if this was actually dealing with the FDA, if this was dealing with a food that wasn't certified, guess what? Manufacturing production on this food would have been done a long time ago, and there would have been a whole bunch of lawsuits, right? But since this is the world that we live in, nobody has to really take, technically, realistically at all, nobody takes parenting classes. Nobody takes psych classes. Nobody takes classes in order to, both understand themselves and to understand what it's going to be like becoming a parent and all the things that you're going to have to worry about. There are really no classes for that. And if there are, you have to pay for them because a long time ago, you used to be able to get some of those in like middle school and also in high school and maybe also in college. But again, the first two that I listed to you were free. Middle school, high school. Colleges, you got to pay for those classes. Notice how you have an understanding that statistically you have a lot of young pregnancies directly out here, but you don't offer classes ahead of time before they reach that age of, hey, maybe they might be at the age where, their hormones are raging and they really want to, do stuff. Let's try to add some type of layer of prevention and safety there so that they can at least think logically if they are to interact and do a lot of these things. Like I said before, where are all of the black women that always tote black girl magic? Black women love other black women. We care. We don't fight. We don't bicker. We're not jealous. We're not envious. Where is all that? Because that's not what I see. I see a field. I'm not even talking about the black dudes there because this ain't even a responsibility to stop this. I'm just gonna be honest. Because I, for one, if I saw a group of black women fighting, I, for one, am not gonna risk my life and try to dismantle that when you got other women and friends that are there that can easily dismantle that. Women can dismantle that because at the end of the day, let a black dude try to be honest and try to break up a fight. You have another black dude waiting in the wind, like, oh, he about to go in there and try to touch on these. I'm about to snuff this, and that's what it is. It ain't even worth it. You trying to be a good Samaritan, then you got somebody just seeking to destroy you because you trying to stop a fight. That might be their sister or their cousin. They sitting back there not doing nothing, but they don't want you sitting up there touching nobody because. So, like I said before, I understand why those dudes are recording. It was enough women there. They had some large sized women there who weren't fighting that could have just sat up there and ragdoll those little women to the left and to the right, but they didn't do that. They didn't use the God given strength and muscle that they got in order to really break up that fight like that to make sure that this ain't happening here. So, like I said, all of this, like, black women love black women, it's a sham to me.